दया करो मोरे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे तुम बिन के दयालो जगत संसारे पतित पवन हेतु तव अवतार पतित पवन हेतु तव अवतार मौसम पतिता प्रभु न पाई बेयार आह प्रभु नित्यानंद प्रेमानंद सुखी आह प्रभु नित्यानंद प्रेमानंद सुखी कृपा बल को कृपा बलोकाना करो आमी बड़ दुखी दया करो सीतापति आइए त गोसाई दया करो सीतापति आयत गोसाई तव कृपा बले पाई चैतन्य निताई हा प्रभु सनातन रूप रघुनाथ हा प्रभु सनातन रूप रघुनाथ भट्ट जोग श्री जीवा प्रभु लोकनाथ दया करो श्री आचार्य प्रभु श्रीनिवास दया करो श्री आचार्य प्रभु श्रीनिवास रामचंद्र संग मांगे नरोत्तम दास श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे दंडवत प्रणाम माता जी हरे कृष्णा
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे वर्स नंबर 11.
Mataji 11.65.
Yes. So here Advaita Acharya is specifying the devotees who came and expressed their sadness that people are criticizing us, people are criticizing bhakti. So then Advaita Acharya told, do not worry. Please wait for few more days. You will see Krishna right here. Aradena katagiya thaka. Bhai sabha. Ethai dekhi pa sabha Krishna anubhava. You will experience Krishna. Krishna, please wait for some time. Krishna is going to come. You will soon realize Krishna. So actually, when there is a trana, it is a paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya chadushkruta dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge. Krishna comes to reclaim the devotees. Krishna comes to pacify the devotees. Paritranaya. The only trana is separation from the devotees. Vinashaya chadushkruta. So if Krishna has to annihilate the demons, for that Krishna need not come. Krishna is coming to remove the virahatapa of the devotees. So Krishna, here Advaita Acharya says, You will soon realize Krishna within and without. By the strength of your devotional service, Sri Krishna, who enjoys with the gopis, will manifest his form as Gaura Sundar among you. By serving him, you will achieve the perfection of serving Krishna. This does not mean that Advaita Acharya preached the philosophy of Gopi, Chada, Gauranga, Nagari, or becoming a lover of Gauranga who has left the gopis. See here, this is most important statement. Gauranga is in the mood of the gopi. So here Advaita Acharya is saying, if you serve Gauranga, you will realize serving Krishna, or you will attain the perfection of serving Krishna. So here Gauranga is not compared to that Krishna who has left the gopis. In the performance of Kirtan, which is the service of Gaura Sundar, the worship of Gaura is the worship of Krishna, and the worship of Krishna is worship of Gaura. Not understanding Sri Gaura Sundar as Krishna and considering Sri Nityananda Swarup as merely spiritual master, foolish, ignorant people fall from the devotional service. So Gaura Sundar is Krishna himself, but he is served in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And Nityananda Prabhu is not merely just a spiritual master, he is Gaura Sundar himself. Moreover, if they consider that the pastimes of Gaura are not those of Krishna, but only the pastimes of a devotee, then they meet a same fate. So he is the same Krishna who is crying for Srimati Radharani, or Srimati Radharani's mood crying for Krishna. So here the pastimes of Sri Krishna are Sri Gaura Sundar's pastime of giving conjugal enjoyment. They are not contaminated with the philosophy of Prakruta Sahajiyas, mundane devotees. If a sadhaka considers that the pastime of Sri Gaura are not those of Sri Krishna, but are separate manifestations of variegated material enjoyment, he falls from his position and becomes a conditioned soul. Then, leaving Krishna's service, he is supplied by the illusory energy with the evil propensity of imagining to enjoy Gaura. So what happens? Because he has a wrong understanding about Gaura, he leaves Krishna's service. And then he is supplied with illusory energy and imagines that he is enjoying Gaura. The pure devotee of Gaura do not associate with such so-called Gaura Bhaktas, who are actually servants of Maya and followers of Shakta philosophy. The consideration of pure devotee mixed devotional service is prominently found in the 13 Vaishnava Apasampradayas like Baula, Sahajiya, and Gauranagari. Giving up such unwanted association is an exhibition of non-duplicitous devotion to Sri Gaura Sundar. Until the propensity for serving Krishna is awakened in the heart of a living entity, his clear perception of Sri Gaura Sundar remains covered by the spirit of material enjoyment. When this covering is removed, then under the guidance of Advaita Acharya, one soon attains the fortune of seeing Sri Gaura Sundar. So many philosophies have been rejected. The wrong philosophy of considering Gaura to be the same Krishna who has left the gopis. He is the same Krishna, but his mood is now of Radharani who is crying for Krishna. He is non-different from Krishna. So seeing Gaura different from Krishna is also aparadha. Seeing Gaura as Krishna who has left Vrindavan, that is also wrong. That is also Sahajiyas. Then thinking that, okay, I'll serve Gaura, and then there comes Sahajiya Bhava, enjoyment with Maya. So seeing Gaura as the Krishna, the same Krishna, now who has taken the mood of crying for Krishna. So this is all very subtle philosophies or subtle understanding. Only a pure devotee can understand that he is the same Gaura, he is the same Krishna, he is the same Jagannath. Jagannath cries for Radharani, then Gaura cries for Jagannath. Same Jagannath now taking the mood for crying for himself. That has been given. Advaitara Vakya Shuni Bhagavata Adgana Dukha Pasariya Sabekarena Kirtana. So after hearing the words of Advaita, all the devotees, they forgot their distress and began Kirtan. He says, now same Gaur Sundar is going to come. If you serve Gaur Sundar, you are serving Krishna. Don't see Gaur Sundar as separate from Krishna. That has been given. So Gaur Sundar is the same Krishna. Gaur Sundar is the same Krishna. He is not different from Krishna. But he is that Krishna who is crying for himself. So he will teach you how to cry for Krishna. As the auspicious sounds of Krishna's name arose, Advaita and other devotees became overwhelmed. Uthila Krishnera Nama Parama Mangala Advaita Sahita Sabe Hela Vihala. So as soon as they heard Krishna's name, everyone were overwhelmed. By loudly chanting the 16 names or 32 syllables of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or by loudly chanting the names of Radha Govind, Advaita Acharya became overwhelmed in ecstasy. According to the learned viewpoints, the name of Radha Krishna that Raghunath Das Goswami has indicated in 2 of the concluding verses of Vilapa Kusumanjali, beginning with Asha Bharair, Amrita Sindhu Mahai, are included within the 16 names or 32 syllables of the Mahamantra. The so-called devotees of the pseudo Sampradayas who are opposed to the followers of Rupa Goswami, though identifying themselves as devotees, are unable to understand the identity of Krishna's name and being reluctant to accept the Hare Krishna Mahamantra composed of 16 names and 32 syllables as names of Krishna. They thus consider the Mahamantra as an ordinary mantra. These offenders are traveling through the hell and are simply rebellious against the Guru. One should discuss the verse Tunde Tandavini Ratim Vidanute Tundavali Laptaye Karna Krodha Kadambini Ghatayate Karnarmute Bhyaspruham Cheta Prangana Sangini Vijayate Sarvendriyalam Kutim Najane Janita Kriya Vyamitair Krishneti Varnatvai. So here, let me have Rupa Goswami writes these 2 words, Krishna, how much nectar it has produced. Kiyad bhir amrute. So much of amrita is there. So when the holy name is chanted, it appears to dance within the mouth. Tunde tandavini ratim vidanute tundavali raptahe. So this verse is a very important verse where Rupa Goswami says, I should have thousands and thousands of mouths. Karna krodha kadambini ghatayate karnar murtebhyas praham. Oh, I should have thousands and thousands of ears to hear the holy name. And when the holy name dances in my heart, Cheta Prangana Sangini Vijayate Sarvendriyanam Kutim, it conquers activities of all the senses. And in this way conquers my mind, it conquers my senses. So such is the nectar produced by the 2 names, Krishna. That is by the meaning, Raghunath Das Goswami, he gives this in Vilapa Kusumanjali. Asha Bharair Amrita Sindhu Mahai. So these 16 names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna indicates Radha Govinda. And the names Hare Rama indicates Radha Govinda. So sometimes people are confused. Oh, we are calling Krishna also, we are calling Rama also. There is no difference between both. But here Rama refers to the meaning of Lord. Rama, Ramayati, Ramante Yogino Lante Satyananda Chidatmani. So who is giving bliss to everyone? Krishna, 2 letters. Krishera Bhuvachaka Shabda Halashta Nivrutti Vachaka Tayorikyam Param Brahma Krishna Vidiyate. The same Lord who attracts everyone, who gives bliss to everyone. So both refer to Radha Govinda. Those who have learned to become subordinate to Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, who is situated as the subordinate to Rupa Goswami, who composed Radhashtaka and Sri Harinamashtakam, can never commit offense at the feet of Sri Guruji Goswami. Gaur Sundar has incarnated to teach people that the names of Radha Govinda and Sri Radha Govinda are non-different. Nama Chintamani Krishna Caitanya Rasa Vigraha. Purna Shuddho Nityamukto Bhinnatvam Namanamino. There is no difference between name and the Nami. He instructed the conclusions of Achintya Bheda Bheda to thoughtful persons. In this way, here, just by hearing the sound of Krishna, name of Krishna, they became overwhelmed. So that has been given. They became overwhelmed just by hearing the name of Krishna. So Krishna and his name are not different. Abhinatvam namanamna, abhinatvam namanamna. Advaitara, so then, Pashandira Vakya Jwala, Sabagela Dura, Yei Mata Pulakita Navatipa Pura. So the pains were caused by the words of Athis. So these abusive words which caused the pains, they were mitigated just by hearing Krishna's name. Advaitacharya, he consoled them. He told, don't worry, you're going to see Krishna soon. You're going to experience Krishna. So you don't have to worry. The whole city was filled with ecstasy because Advaitacharya's solacing words extinguished the burning fire arising from the theistic statements in which the devotees of Krishna were compared to Athis, who are envious of the Vaishnavas and who worship 5 gods. The attitude of atheism, in other words, the temperament of being envious of Vaishnavas and averse to devotional service, is present in the covered Buddhist codes of reconciliation and its propagation. Since this temperament was vanquished, or in other words, when impersonalism opposed to Vaishnavism was temporarily checked in the town of Navadipa, the material consumption of the residents of Navadipa were removed. As a result, pure Vaishnavas were greatly pleased. So these atheists, who are not pure devotees, they worship 5 gods. They consider even Vishnu as one of the god, demigod. They worship Surya Devata, they worship Ganapati, they worship Shiva, they worship Durga, they worship Narayana also. So these are all the Mayavadis. They worship all 5 because they consider all 5 to be the same. That is why if you find the Shankara philosophy, they'll worship all the 5 without understanding that Govinda is Paro Vyaktat. He is Para. He is supreme. So here, impersonalism, they are opposed to the personal aspects of Krishna. So they propound impersonalism. They say worship anyone, anyhow, ultimately it is going to go to that impersonal Brahman. And then this is a covered Buddhist philosophy. Impersonalism is covered Buddhism. Mayavadam asashastram, prapannam bauddham uchyate. So prapannam bauddham uchyate. It is a covered Buddhism. Buddhism speaks about Shunyavad. There is nothing existing. Everything is only zero. And what about Mayavad? Everything is only going to merge in the impersonal. So it is actually covered Buddhism. Adhyana Sukhe Prabhu Vishwambhararaya Niravadhi Jaranira Ananda Bhadaya. So in this way, Lord Vishwambhara happily passed his days in studies and always increased the joy of Mother Sachi. Now the question arises, what is this Leela which is spoken by Advaita Acharya? What was it before the appearance of Caitanya or after the appearance of Caitanya? Actually, here it implies it is after the appearance of Caitanya. Still, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is only enacting the Panditya pastime. He is yet not showing the pastime for which he has come. He is not revealing his form. That is why here he says, now you will see, soon you will see the Lord moving with you. Soon you will realize Krishna. Soon you will realize that Gaura is not different from Krishna. So the talk which happened between the devotees and Advaita Acharya is actually the talk which happened after the appearance of Gaur Sundar. Similar talk also happened before the advent of Gaur Sundar, where crying loudly Hunkara, here Chaitanya Maha, here Gaur Sundar is called by Advaita Acharya. But because Vishwambar pastime, Vishwambar studying pastime is discussed. So we can imply that this pastime of the devotees talking to Advaita Acharya, complaining to them, expressing their distress, this is all done after after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is busy studying and increasing the happiness of the mother. Every mother likes the child if they study nicely. Every mother likes. Adhyana Sukhe Prabhu Vishwambara Raya Niravadi Jagamida Ananda Badai. So the scholastic pastimes. Now the aim of Gaurasundar's enjoyment of scholastic pastimes was to help the living entities cultivate Krishna consciousness. Now, how the scholastic pastimes are cultivating Krishna consciousness? This is because the opulence is shown first. When the opulence is shown and the Shastras are taught, the Shastra speaks about Krishna. That is why Shastra reading is very much important. Scholastic pastimes are also very important. If a devotee is only chanting Harinam and is not well versed in the scriptures, then his Krishna consciousness will not be very fixed up. He may do it out of sentiments. Sometimes he may take it out of sentiment. Sometimes he may give it up also. That is why Shastric knowledge is also very important. That is what Gaurasundar is showing. That jnana of the scriptures is very important so that one cultivates Krishna consciousness. It is a cultivation of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, the studying and teaching pastimes of Sri Sachinandana increase the happiness of Sachidevi. No one should consider Sachidevi, who is non-different from Yashoda, as being non-different from the external energy Maya, and thus become established in the Shakta philosophy of the followers of Durga. Maya Devi, who is external energy of the Lord and the mother of the universe, can never become mother of Gaurasundar. Rather, Sachi is a personification of Vatsala Rasa which nourishes spiritual bliss. Since the sense enjoyers, fruity workers, mental speculators glorify the secondary meaning of words and primary meaning of words do not manifest in their hearts. Only persons who are engaged in the service of the Lord are fully qualified to understand the primary meaning. Such qualification is awakened in the heart of a living entity only by mercy of Krishna. So here, Sachi Mata has Vatsala Rasa, and this is increasing spiritual bliss. So she cannot be compared to Durga. Durgaji is eternal energy of Krishna. She can never become the mother of Gaurasundar because internal potency governs the spiritual world. Now these sense enjoyers, mental speculations, what they do, they like to, they will never understand the primary meanings of Vatsala Rasa. Vatsalata implies only in the spiritual world. What Vatsalata we find in this material world is only a temporary thing. So somebody can say, oh, the child is studying, that is why mother is very happy. Sachimata is very happy because the child is studying. This can happen only in this material world. Material world, the child studies, mother is very happy. The child doesn't study, mother is unhappy. The child is naughty, mother is unhappy. But in the spiritual world, even if the child is naughty, mother experiences the bliss. So the scholastic pastime, somebody can say, oh, this scholastic pastime is giving joy to Mother Sachi. That means this is a material activity by which Mother Sachi is very, very happy. This is not a material activity. This is to nourish Krishna consciousness, and Mother Sachi is not Durga Devi, is not a manifestation of material energy. She is Yashoda Mata herself. Yashoda Mata used to like everything of Krishna. Whether Krishna speaks like a scholar or behaves in a very naughty way, in every aspect, mother loves the child. This Vatsalata cannot be found in this material world. If children do the mischief, mother becomes upset. Mother doesn't like the children doing mischief. But Yashoda Mata used to give a smile even while punishing Krishna. You see, the mothers can never smile when they are angry with the child. That is the difference in the Vatsala Rasa of the material world and the Vatsala Rasa of the spiritual world. Mother cannot smile at a time. We have seen in the Damodar Ashtakam, while binding Krishna, mother gives a smile, mother is not angry. At the same time, she is exhibiting anger. This is a very difficult thing which cannot be done in this material world. If you're angry, then you're angry the whole day. You're upset the whole day. If the child does some notorious thing, then you're upset the whole day. And there is an expectation from the child. But if Krishna does some notorious thing also, mother enjoys. There are so many complaints which come from the neighborhood. Your child is very naughty, comes and not only steals butter, pinches our child, and passes urine also, leaves our calf also. So many naughty things the child is doing. So all these things, even after hearing the complaints, Yashoda Mata, though exhibits the anger, but within she is experiencing the bliss in even in exhibiting anger. Just see. So this is a very difficult thing to understand with our mundane intelligence. Experiencing bliss in anger, how it is possible? A person in the material world cries. The child is naughty and then he cries. The child is naughty. The child is not hearing. If the child is punished, after punishing also mother cries. She's not experiencing bliss. Bliss means that happiness which is eternal. So that is experienced only by the internal potency of Krishna. That is by Sachimata is internal potency of Lord, internal energy of Lord. Hena Kela Nabadvipa Shri Ishwarapuri Ailena Ati Alakshita Veshadhari. Now Ishwarapuri has come. He has come in disguise to Navadvipa. The word Alakshita Veshaha in disguise means he was dressed in such a way that people would not know that he was a devotee. In other words, he came as an Ekadandi sannyasi. Vaishnava sannyasis are Tridandi sannyasis. And Mayava sannyasis are Ekadandi sannyasis. They are not counted as devotees. So he intentionally comes like an Ekadandi sannyasi. So yesterday there was a question. There may be some people in the Mayavad Pantha, but they may be pure devotees. They may be. They may have that love for Krishna, overwhelmed with the love for Krishna. But just because they are worshipping Krishna, but they worship 5 lords also. So it is not just because they are singing songs for Krishna. No, it is their consciousness towards Krishna. It is their understanding of Krishna in respect to other demigods. In the worship of 5 gods, they equalize Krishna with all the other 4. But if the proper understanding is there, that Param is Govinda, then there is no fault. Krishna Rase Parama Bhuvvala Mahashaya Ekanta Krishnera Priya Ati Dayamaya. So now Ishwarapuri, though appearing as an Ekadandi sannyasi, he was overwhelmed with love for Krishna. He was so merciful and dear to Lord Krishna. So in the consideration of worshipable objects, Krishna is the topmost. Krishna is the object of 5 kinds of rasas. Sri Narayana is the object of 2.5 rasas. 2.5. What is it? 2.5. That is your Shanta, Dasya, and in that Sakya only half. Because the perfection of the Sakya is with Krishna. It means when Krishna is there in his home, then the person experiences the perfection in the Sakya. That means in the Goloka. Vatsalya Rasa also attains perfection in Goloka. As Narayana in the office, he can experience Shanta, Dasya, and Sakya to half. But this later rasa, Shanta rasa, is often not counted among the rasas. The impersonal spiritual abode of Brahman, though situated on the other side of Viraja, is devoid of the conception of servant and the served. So here, sometimes Shanta rasa is not included among the 5 rasas. Now, Madhurya Rasa to some extent is experienced. When you say half in that Madhurya is also there, that half refers to everything. Half in Vatsalyata also, half in Madhurata also. Madhurya Rasa. Lakshmi is also there in Vaikuntha. But again, that is not achieving perfection. The impersonal spiritual abode of Brahman, though situated on the other side of Virja, is devoid of the conception of served and the servant and the served. Why? Because here it is everything is impersonal. There is no personal aspect. Now on this side of Virja is Devi Dham, wherein the material sky is situated. Mundane perishable objects are situated in the material sky. In the spiritual abode of spiritual variegatedness and spiritual characteristics, the conceptions of served and the servant are present. But in this spiritual world, the conception of servant and servant are perverted. Relationship with Krishna in the five rasas are generally extremely rare in the material world. It's not so easy to understand Krishna in the five rasas. Even to understand in Shanta rasa is also not so easy. What to speak of in Dasya rasa, Sakya rasa, Vatsalya rasa, and Madhurya rasa. As far as the super excellence of rasas is concerned, though there is some similarity between material world and Vaikuntha rasas, material rasas are actually abominable reflections of the spiritual rasas. So whatever Vatsalata or Sakya rasa we are experiencing here, it's just a perverted form. So that is why the rasas of the material world are known as virasa. Virasa means disgusting. In the consideration of the alambana or support of the rasas in the spiritual world, the vishaya or object is one non-dual substance, and the ashraya are many. So in the spiritual world, this object is ashraya tattva. Here, ashraya means the subjects. They are many, but one is vishaya, that is Krishna. But in the material world, we see deviations. That means objects are many, subjects are also many. Krishna is the only object of taking shelter, ashraya tattva. Krishna is the only one to whom everyone takes shelter. But in the material world, you will find objects are also many, subjects are also many. In the spiritual world, the absolute truth, Vajendra Nandana, is only object, and Baladeva is a manifestation of that object. Baladeva's four manifestations as Chaturviha are situated in Mahavaikuntha. Because the objects of the material world are infected with the modes of material nature, they are subjected to the agitation of the time. From the viewpoint of the subjects, the controlling spirit found in the objects of the abodes, such as Kailash, contains material pride. In other words, a connection with the three modes of material nature is found. Such pollution is not possible in the absolute world. With Lord Vishnu of the spiritual world. In the material world, the impermanence of rasas and impermanence of the objects and the subjects are abominable and contrary to the principles of Vaikuntha rasas. Under the subordination of Sri Madhavendra Puri Pada, Sri Ishwara Puri was expert in releasing transcendental rasas in relationship with Krishna. The service attitude of Ishwar Puri fully blossomed due to the austerity of Sri Madhavendra and his eagerness for achieving Krishna. Therefore, he received the direct mercy of Gaur Sundar, who is non-different from Vajendra Nandana. Sri Ishwar Puri was completely overwhelmed with love of Krishna. In other words, mundane external feelings could not disturb his loving service. Because he was situated as the servant of the spiritual master, he was dear to Krishna. Very dear, and therefore he was equally merciful to all living entities. The prime principle of mercy is to awaken one's devotion to Krishna, as this is the external propensity of the soul. So here very nice it has been described. If we have to invoke Krishna's mercy, then one's love for Krishna has to be awakened. So the object should be only one. You cannot have multiple objects here. Vivasayatmika buddhihi ekeha kurunandana. You love only Krishna. When you say I love Krishna, that means I should love all the forms of Krishna also. Don't now fight among the forms of Krishna. Now, Here, many objects here refers to trying to go to many Devi Devatas without understanding their relationship to Krishna. So this is also, this will not invoke or this will not awaken pure love for Krishna. So that has been told here. So Ishwar Puri, describing Ishwar Puri. Ishwar Puri came in disguise, came like an Ekadandi sannyasi, but he is actually blessed by Madhavendra Puri. He is disciple of Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri is a personification of pure love for Krishna. So Aidina Dayadranate Mathura Nata Kadavalokyase Hridayam Tad Aloka Kataram Daita Brahmati Kim Karomyaham. This is a word spoken by Madhavendra Puri when he was giving up this material world. This means he was about to leave this material world. By leaving this body, he says, Aidina Dayadranate. Oh Lord, when am I going to see your form? When am I going to, because my heart is burning in separation from you. So Madhavendra Puri, from Madhavendra Puri, the highest rasa, that is Madhuri rasa, was introduced in Brahma Madhva Sampradaya. And that is how Ishwar Puri got this rasa from Madhavendra Puri. Understood that the topmost of everything is the Madhuri rasa for Krishna. Again, this rasa cannot be studied just by our mundane intelligence. It's an experience which is given by the blessings of the gopis of Vrindavan. It is not that all the ISKCON followers or all the Caitanya followers are in Madhuri rasa. No. Rasas differ from jiva to jiva. Again, with jiva, the jivas who have realized their constitutional position. Again, in that realization also, first realization is we are all servants of Krishna. To realize Vatsalya rasa, to realize Sakhya rasa, Vatsalya rasa, Madhuri rasa requires mercy of Krishna. That is where our Shuddha Sattva, Shuddha, or we can say our Siddha Sarupa. That Siddha Sarupa can be identified by a person only by the mercy of Krishna. But when the Siddha Sarupa is known, that the devotee will not go and tell to everyone, I am the Gopi of Vrindavan. He will not say anything. But that activities will make the other person understand, yes, he has so much of love for Krishna. But what type of rasa only that person knows with Krishna. That is not published. That has been given. So any questions? Here we'll stop. Any questions? So there was a question yesterday asked by Uma Mataji. I think she's newly joined, Uma Pratap. These are the verses which are given for memorizing. You can memorize the shlokas. If any doubt is there, you can ask Aruna Mataji. Yeah, Medhavini Mataji, what is the doubt?
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for the wonderful class. Mataji, you said there is no difference between Yashoda Maiya and Shachi Mata because both of them are the Supreme Personality Godhead. So I just wanted to understand what will be the position of the Aditi, mother of Vamana Dev, Kaushalya. I mean, Lord Ram is also the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Lord appeared as Vamana Dev, and Parashuram's mother Renuka, and all of them. How do we understand their position, Mataji?
Yeah, they are when they are giving birth to the Supreme Lord, they are the mother of Supreme Lord, they are the Amshas. They are the Amshas of the internal energy of Krishna. Because again, Vamana is Lord himself. So when Lord is appearing for some type of activity, some activity, he is not manifesting his full form. It's not manifesting the full form. He's a partial expansion, you can say is avatara. When he is appearing, when internal energy also appears in different forms. Aditi, then you have Kaushalya. Now Kaushalya is non-different from Yashoda, because Prabhu Ram is non-different from Krishna. Then Aditi is also non-different from Yashoda, but has to enact in a particular way. Then Aditi has given birth to many devatas also. So there is a small twist. when she has given birth to many devatas, that means she should be the manifestation of material energy. Now, how is it that Vamandev is born to Aditi? So Krishna can take any role. Krishna can take Krishna's internal potency also can take any role. Like when Durgaji is brought from Vasudev, brings Durgaji. When Vasudev is touching, she is Durgaji. When Kamsa is touching, immediately takes the form of a material energy. So what is material energy? It is just a perverted form of the spiritual energy. It's just a reflection. We say the Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, Sadhana, Shakti, Rekha, Chaya. It's a Chaya. So that can be person also, that can be Chaya also. So it is a difficult thing to be understood. How that person only can become Chaya. Then can the Chaya be removed? Can be Chaya be separated from the person? No. So when Kamsa is touching, at that time, it is not the internal potency. Internal potency cannot be touched by any Rakshasas, any demons. That has been given. Now, material energy cannot give birth to Vamandev. Vamandev is Krishna himself. Material energy cannot give birth to Vamandev. At the same time, Devatas cannot come from the womb of, Devatas will not be coming from the womb of Yashoda. So, sometimes Chaya Shakti, sometimes the real Shakti. That way only we can understand.
Okay, Mataji, thank you.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, दंडवत प्रणाम। माताजी, प्राइमरी मीनिंग एंड सेकेंडरी मीनिंग के लिए से जरा ज्यादा बताइए।
प्राइमरी मीनिंग क्या था? वो जो स्कॉलस्टिक पास्ट टाइम्स क्यों कर रहे हैं? ताकि सबको कृष्ण भावना में ले आने के लिए। सेकेंडरी मीनिंग को ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं देना है कि अरे हाँ, उनको खुशी देने के लिए। खुशी देने के लिए तो भौतिक बच्चा अपने माँ को खुशी देने के लिए पढ़ाई करता है, वो है मीनिंग। भौतिक में, भौतिक जगत में हर बच्चे इसलिए पढ़ाई करते हैं अपने माता पिता को आनंद देने के लिए। बट चैतन्य महाप्रभु अपने माता पिता को आनंद देने के लिए नहीं कर रहे, वो तो हो ही रहा है, साइड बाय साइड हैपेंस। लेकिन प्राइमरी क्या था? और सबको कृष्ण भावना में ले आने के लिए, क्योंकि ज्ञान होगा, शास्त्र का ज्ञान होगा, तब कृष्ण भावनामृत में दृढ़ रहेंगे। वो था प्राइमरी मीनिंग, सेकेंडरी मीनिंग।
ओके माताजी, हरे कृष्ण, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Any doubts more? Okay, Hare Krishna. So requesting everyone to do nice collections for Janmashtami. Janmashtami is coming. This is the only time people, outsiders also, they give. The more we beg, the more we can understand what is surrenderance. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also begged. So requesting everyone to collect nicely. For people, outsiders, Janmashtami is a very big event. For a devotee, what is Janmashtami? The indication of appearance of Radhashtami. So Janmashtami is actually not for devotees. It is, but it is actually for the outsiders. Janmashtami is only a passing phase for Radhashtami to be celebrated. Okay.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। माताजी, श्री रूप गोस्वामी जी ने जो राधा अष्टकम बनाया वो श्री गंधर्व संप्रार्थना अष्टकम वो ही ना माताजी?
इसमें तुंडे तांडविनी वही आता है। तुंडे तांडविनी रतिंग तरते वृंदावली रब्दये। ये वर्ड्स को सीख लेंगे तो बहुत ही सुंदर है। चैतन्य चरितामृत में भी ये वर्ड्स को डाला गया है। तुंडे तांडविनी, लेट मी हैव thousands and thousands of more. Hare Krishna.